Medical Coding Fundamentals, Chapter 1, Medical Terminology, Anatomy, and Physiology. So, what is medical coding? Medical coding is a way of putting a diagnosis or a procedure into a numeric form. This will protect the information. The diagnosis codes are codes that they designate the reason for the encounter. Procedure codes indicate the services rendered. I like to think of it as the diagnosis is why the patient came to the office, why we're seeing them, and the procedure is what we did for them. So what is the purpose of medical coding? Medical coding ensures accurate reimbursement. Reimbursement is the payment for our services, so it's really important that we are able to get the maximum reimbursement for any services that we provide. It proves medical necessity to the insurance companies because they won't pay for services unless we can prove that they were necessary. And it helps to track data for research purposes. Why is medical terminology important to coding? Boy, we have a lot of questions in this chapter, don't we? All your codes are based on medical documentation. So we have to be able to understand the medical terms, the acronyms, the abbreviations that are involved in order to interpret the information and put it into the form of a code. We also have to have a good understanding of anatomy and of physiology. Anatomy is the physical structure of the body, and physiology is how the anatomical structures function in a living person. Okay, so we're going to do a little bit of a medical terminology review. Remember, medical terms are made up of word elements. A word root is the base from which the term definition grows. A combining vowel is a vowel added to the root or the base word to facilitate punctuation. A combining form is a word element consisting of a word root and a combining vowel. A prefix is attached to the beginning of another word to modify its meaning. And a suffix is attached to the end of another word to modify its meaning. Eponyms, abbreviations, and acronyms. Eponyms. This is a name derived from the existing name of a person or location. It may be associated with a disease, an anatomical structure, or a surgical procedure. Abbreviations are shortened versions of commonly used words, and an acronym is the beginning letters of a multi-word term. We also need to do a review of anatomy and physiology. Anatomy, as I stated earlier, is the structure of the body. There are locations of anatomical parts. In order to determine these locations, we use terms such as frontal plane, which is a plane dividing the body into the anterior and posterior portions. Sagittal plane divides the body into left and right portions, and transverse plane divides the body into upper and lower portions. We also need to review our body systems. The integumentary system includes the hair, skin, nails, and glands. Its primary function is for protection, regulation, temperature, fluid balance, and sensation. The musculoskeletal system includes your skeleton and your muscles, your bones and muscles. Its function, as far as the skeletal system, provides structure and protection of vital structures. And muscles provide a means to move bones and joints. The cardiovascular system includes the heart, atrial system, capillaries, and a venous system. Its function is to circulate the blood and deliver oxygen and nutrients to the body. The lymphatic system includes the lymphatic vessels and nodes, and its function is to collect excess interstitial fluid and returns it to the heart. The respiratory system includes the nose, pharynx, larynx, trachea, bronchi, bronchioles, and the lungs. Its function is to exchange carbon dioxide and waste products for oxygen. The digestive system, or the gastrointestinal system, is the oral cavity through the anus. Its function is to break down food, absorb nutrients, and eliminate waste. The urinary system includes the kidneys, ureters, urinary bladder, urethra, and its function is to remove metabolic waste and maintain fluids and electrolyte balance. The reproductive system includes the system for the male and female organs. The male organs include testes, epididymis, vas deferens, scrotum, penis, prostate gland, seminal vesicle, and Cowper's gland. Female organs include the vulva, labia majora, minora, clitoris, vagina, uterus, fallopian tubes, and ovaries. And the function of this system is to control reproduction. We also have the nervous system. It includes the central nervous system, which includes the brain and spinal cord. And the peripheral nervous system includes the cranial and spinal nerves. This functions to regulate as a regulator and a central intelligence of the body. The endocrine system includes the hypothalamus, pituitary, pineal, thyroid, parathyroid, thymus, adrenals, pancreas, ovaries, and testes. And its function is to secrete or excrete hormones. The hemic system includes the red cells, which deliver oxygen throughout the body. The white cells provide the defense against infection, and platelets assist in clotting. All of this knowledge is going to be even more detrimental when ICD-10 becomes into effect. ICD-10 is the future of diagnostic coding. You will be expected to understand a more extensive set of medical terms. More information will be required in order to pick the correct code. So you're really going to have a strong understanding of your medical terminology, and especially your anatomy and physiology. Okay, your homework for this chapter is, of course, to read the chapter. Do the using terminology on page 27 through 28 and checking your understanding on page 28 through 30. Make sure you study your terms for your anatomy and study your terms and anatomy for the quiz that we will have next week. See you then.